Welcome everyone. This is a video about a phrase that I've been using in our work for many years now called "Your body never lies." And the premise of that statement is that in your body, and that means your physical mass, your energetic mass, that is around your body and makes up the consciousness of your body. In your body, you know great wisdom that's going to heal you, it's going to free you, it's going to change your life, it's going to open you up to possibilities, to guidance, to prosperity, to more intimacy, to physical healing. So all of those things are all wrapped up in your body never lies. So if your body never lies, then what's the truth? And that's the piece that we're going to do a series of these videos to talk about what we call body stories, that in your body you have accumulated all these stories, and they tend to have locations in your body. Places where. So I'll give you kind of a teaching to get started. So think about, you're rubbing your neck or your shoulders, or you have a pain here. Wherever you have pain, stress, a current disease in your body, or a vulnerability to a disease that shows up from time to time, those are areas that I can tell you already have locations for these body stories to show up. So your body never lies. Let's start with that for a moment. There was a man who came and did some work with me some years ago, who was already really quite prosperous as far as his business and income, and things were great, happy home, lived by himself, and wanted just a partnership, wanted some intimacy. And when he came, he was reaching out to find, like, how can I open up? What is it that's blocking me? So one of the principles that we keep teaching is what you put out in the universe is brought back to you. Every spiritual teacher teaches that in some form. So what you put out comes back in like kind. So he knew that he was coming to see me because somehow he was putting out a message that was saying, I'm not available, even though his greatest heart's desire was actually to have a beloved, to have a partnership, to have intimacy, to have a yummy relationship that complemented his life. And as he started doing this work, he met someone that he was going to meet up with, who was in another city. And as soon as he bought the plane ticket to go see this person that he thought emotionally and physically and spiritually, it seemed like, a yummy match, that he got shingles. And if any of you have had shingles or know somebody who has, there's a lot of pain. And pain in the body, so that last thing you want is to be touched. And so here he is wanting to go date somebody who he thought was a good match, got shingles. So his body was erupting with a story. And the story was simple. Don't touch me. You don't want to be touched. And yet his heart's desire was so much a longing to be touched emotionally, physically, spiritually, to have a deep connection. Well, to cut this down into shorter segment, this happened to him 3 times. He'd moved through it, and every time he started to buy this ticket or bought the ticket to go meet this person who he thought he would have shingles. So it was very clear his body was giving him a message. But what was the uncoding? And that's what this segment's all about, is teaching you that your body's ever giving you a message. And that message needs to be uncoded. So for him, that untouchable piece was really unlayering something. And as we were doing some work together, he had kind of a reflection that came to the surface that he felt in his body. And the reflection was, when he was a little boy, he remembers telling his parents that, I want a bicycle for Christmas. And so Christmas was a big deal in their family, and he said, I want this kind of bicycle, I want this color bicycle. He was very specific. A brand, he knew the whole thing, just a little boy, but knew all the details, gave it to his parents, and his parents on Christmas delivered him a red wagon. So, sounds benign, but the story that got encoded in his body was, I ask for what I want and I don't get it. Then the agreement, and this is what all the juicy work is all about. And when we can get to it, when I can get to it, man, there's great freedom that can be had. But the juiciness was that he had made an agreement with himself that he was the only one he could trust to get what he wanted. So he became overly independent, which in business was great. He was very productive, You could always count on him. He was very responsible. And as far as an intimate relationship, no way. Because intimacy means that I ask for help, that I'm available to receive, that I let my guards down and let you really see me and know me. And he knew from that time as a little boy, he would never get what, or at least that's what he said to himself that got encoded in his body. I'll never get what I want. I have to get it myself. So when he broke this agreement with himself that he had to be overly independent, he could ask for what he wants and that he might even get it. Not only did his physical body heal, but he allowed in a partnership of intimacy that he desired. Your body never lies. We're going to do a video series around different ways in which there are stories that get encoded. And we're going to talk about both the physiology, the spirituality, the traditions out of which the ancient wisdom, to help break those agreements so that you can get more free and have more of the desires of your heart. So hopefully you'll stay tuned, and there's much more to come. Namaste.